Hey everybody, it's Rachel with Rachel Q Stitches and welcome to my channel. Today is Tuesday, January 31st, 2023, and this is FlossTube number 94. If you are new to my channel, this is a channel mostly about cross stitch. Every now and then I might throw in some other stitchy goodness like quilting or crochet or embroidery, but for the most part you are going to see cross stitch, and today is no exception. It is all cross stitch today. If you're a returner, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. I appreciate each one of you. To my new subscribers, thank you. If you're not a subscriber, please consider doing so. It helps my channel grow. All the likes, the thumbs up, the comments, all that good kind of stuff. But it also gets the word out about our wonderful hobby and how great it is. And it's not for old ladies. So anyway, thank you everybody for stopping by. I appreciate it. So, I'm kind of lost here. This is like my 12th time. I struggled doing my intro for some reason. Like, it's not like I don't do it every week, but I struggled this week. Really struggled. So anyway, but thanks everyone for coming. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's get into cross stitch. I'm not going to try to redo this again. Oh boy. Okay, so let's get into cross stitch. I worked on my usuals that I do every week, and the first one is my 25/7 piece. If you are new here, 25/7 is the brainchild, I believe, of the Soulful Stitcher. I mean every week to write this down, and I forget every week to do it. I link the all Facebook groups that I refer to are linked down below, and the cross stitch 25/7 is no exception. So the piece that I work on for my 25/7 is Amid Amish Life. It originally came out in 3 issues of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts in 1987, I believe. It came out as 3 pieces, but many people are stitching it as 1, and I am doing the same thing. So this is what it's going to look like. I've been working on this. I think I'm on my 15th week, maybe. I need to go check. I've had a couple of weeks where I didn't do it every day. I didn't get anything done. I did not get any stitching done on it this weekend. So yesterday, Monday, I sat down and I put on Laura Stitching by the Shore, and she had about an hour-long video. So I stitched the whole thing during her video. So thank you, Laura, for keeping me company. So this is what I got done. Look at that. So you can see here that I started working on the silo right here. A little bit more of these trees. There's some French knots that need to go there. They are apple trees. So I do need to do that, but I'm going to wait and do that at the end because I do not want my hoops smushing them. So I'm going to wait. Hopefully I remember to do them at the end. If I get to the end and y'all look at it and you go, hey, Rachel, there's no apples in your tree, tell me if anybody remembers. So that is what I have done. So lots of grays, in fact, I think these were all like in, you know, the 3 numbers apart type of thing, all grays. I do need to backstitch some of this right here, the hay stacks. I think this might be the start of a house right there. There's another house, another farm. But my goal is to work on this barn. I'm going to try to finish up that barn, at least, you know, this part. The first page ends about right here. So the barn continues a little bit. So I'm going to try to just get that barn done and then get everything I can done, at least on this side that I can, so that I can move my hoop over a little bit. So that's it right there. If you want to see my progress and how much I actually get done by working on it 25 minutes a day, you can go to the Facebook group. And I do have an album, and it's called Rachel Q, Amid Amish Life. So that's it right there. Still love this piece. It's got blocks of color. That makes it easy. Now there is a weird field up here somewhere that's got some weird stitching. I really need to, I think I need to go back and watch Blitz Stitch and see if he talks about it. But anyway, I'm on the barn. So that is my goal. That is my focus for this week, is to finish that barn. Okay. The next thing I stitch. I signed up for the Cross Stitch Studios mystery stitch along, which is very, I normally don't like mysteries, but I decided to just give it a shot. Even though I did not like the last 2 years mystery stitch alongs, this one I like the colors and I like the theme. I think I'm gonna like it. She's on part 3. I'm still stitching part 1. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things. Oh, if you stitch 200 and something stitches a day, you'll get it done. It's like, no, not gonna happen. It might take me a couple of years, but I'm glad I got it. It's so far, it's different from my normal full coverages that I stitch. So this is what I did right here. So I continued my theme of picking a color that's, you know, up here and just stitching it. So I do have my double-sided case that has my full set of DMC. And so what I like to do is I like to stick on one side of the case so I don't have to flip it as much. So I will sit there and I use Pattern Keeper, and I'll keep choosing until I have a color that is on the same side. And so that way I don't have to flip my case as often. But so this is what I've been doing. Just plugging along. I got a total of 260 stitches, and that was one day of stitching. I sat down for a good bit of it and just gave it some time. I try to work on it at least one day and give it anywhere between 100 to 200 stitches. So this was a good day with my 260 stitches. And I think it's because I used, most of it was one color. So I just kept stitching and stitching until I got it all done. So that's it right there. You can see the beginning of some words. And so that's exciting. So I know I talked about maybe going on to page 2, but I don't think I'm going to do that because I don't want to get confused on Pattern Keeper, because each page is a separate chart. So that's it right there. This is done on 18 count. Amid Amish Life is done on 36 count blue even weave. I have no idea exactly what it is or where I got it, but I had it in my stash. And this is 18 count easy grid. All my full coverage are on 18 count easy grid, except for this next one. So this next one is called Ironwork Gate. This is an older chart right here by Barbara and Cheryl. I picked this piece up still on the squirrel rods at a thrift store, partially complete, and I've been working on it slowly. So this is it right here. This is what it's going to look like. In fact, I was stitching on it and my husband was like, ooh, he's like, that really, really looks good. I'm like, thank you. I don't think he sees the end of very many of my pieces. So this is it right here. I picked up this color right here and I just stitched and stitched and stitched for 2 hours and got all that done. So I've decided what I'm going to do the next time I pick it up. I'm just going to work on this side until this part right here is done. And then I'll move over to the other side and then I'll work on that top balcony part. So that's it right here. I just love this piece. I love the way it's coming together. You know, when you're stitching like things like this or whatever, you just kind of, I don't focus on the design. I just focus on the stitches. So when I sit back and I look at it, you know, especially in the camera, it's kind of like, oh, wow, that looks pretty good. So I'm thrilled with the way it's coming out. That's it right there. Okay, the next piece. This is Pageant Kings. This is in, I can't think of the name of the magazine. It's like from the 90s. Anyway, I found out that Pageant Kings and Gathering Honey are the same designer. I didn't realize that. So this is Pageant Kings. This chart is full of Kryneck. So I have substituted it for Petite Treasure Braid. And what I worked on this for 1.5 hours. And it was a blend of 1 strand of DMC and 3 strands of Petite Treasure Braid. And I worked on this part of this man's coat right here. And so this is what I got done. This right here. I did work on finishing this. I had started these, so I went ahead and finished all that, and then I did the like I said, the blue metallic. I've gotten to where I don't mind metallics. I cut them maybe 12 inches long at the most, and I stitch a lot slower, a little bit more with purpose than I do for everything else, but that's what I got done. So hoping next time I pick it up, I want to continue with the blue and the metallic and get as much of that done as I can, because it does, you know, if I look at the chart, it's a lot. It's all in here, the blue metallic, all in here, all down here, all right. His coat, you know, they were kings. They were blingy. So that's what I have. I do want to work on it more. I do want to, 1 week, give it more of a focus so that I can get more done, because I really like it. It's really, really pretty. And I'm enjoying my blingy pieces. They're starting to grow on me. Okay, so the next thing I worked on, I feel like I'm breezing fast. That is done. This is done. Let me tell you, this is done on a 28 count even weave that I get from Michael. So it's DMC. I can't think, is it Monaco maybe? And I dyed this myself. So this is, I wanted to match as close as I could to the chart. And so I just dyed it myself. Figured why not, you know. I have a lot of the, you can see it right here, of 18 count and 28 count. Those are my two preferred. That I just dye myself when I feel like it, unless I'm using my easy grid for my full coverage. Okay, God Shed His Grace. I am doing this as a stitch along. The hashtag on Instagram is God's Grace Sundays. The gist of it is to stitch this piece on Sunday. So I first heard about this through Angie Slowly Crafts. And I know Adventures in Stitching and Nikki Stitchy are doing it. I will have them all written down below for you to look at. And all the ladies, most of them have FlossTube channels. I think maybe 1 or 2 do not, that I know of. I try to check it weekly and see if there's any others that are stitching it that do have FlossTube. And if they do, I'll go ahead and link them down below. I am doing the chart. This is a chart by the Cross Stitch Studio. The artwork is by Abraham Hunter. I am doing mine through Cross Stitch Studio. They're doing theirs through Artisy. I'm doing the cropped version. So the cropped version has just this, whereas the full version has a barn. Now, somebody asked me about the difference between mini and full, regular full coverage. Mini's the same design. It's smaller, so it's not as detailed. So you're going to miss out on a lot of details in some of the areas. So I know Artisy and Heaven and Earth Designs have a place where you can look at mock-ups or stitched pieces to see what they look like. And that's kind of what I go by. But this one was gifted to me. So this is the God Shed His Grace, the cropped version by the Cross Stitch Studio. And I got, y'all ready for this? I got 462 stitches on this on a Sunday. I know. And then this Sunday was a busy Sunday because we had small group expo, our small group startup. So I had to be there for both services. And so I got home and normally I go in the room and take a nap, and I just sat down on the sofa while my husband watched football and I stitched away. And this is what I got done. So I'm moving further on. I do my method of choosing a color, and if whatever side of the box it's on, if it's there, and I stitch away. So I'm getting, further away, which means that I feel like I can move a little further. But my goal, I did finally get one little 10 by 10 area filled in. So my goal, again, this coming Sunday is to just try to fill in all these little missing stitches and pick their number and stitch away. And then, if it has to move out, it moves out. So that is my goal for this piece on Sundays. That's how I stitch most of my full coverage. I just start working and then I just choose a color and stitch. So like for this, what I tried to do is I pulled out a length and I actually stitched all 6 strands. I think I did that for 2 colors. So that's it right there. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying watching everybody else's, not only their pieces, because some are doing the large version, some are doing the minis, I'm doing the crop. Some people are working down the side, some people are working down the top, some people are like me and they just work willy-nilly, which is fun to watch. And so it has been a joy stitching this kind of thing and just seeing how different people stitch the same piece. So that has been fun to stitch on. So that's my daily, also my weekly. I stitch on that at least once a week. All right. I did the magazine monthly challenge, the theme and the cross stick in January. I'm going to continue it in February. So that's exciting. It was really fun. But the thing that I had chosen to stitch was gathering honey. And I worked on this bottom part right here. This is from May, June 87, which means Amid Amish Life is from 86. So this is 87. And I worked on this for 1 hour. And I got all this done, which I'm kind of impressed with. 1 hour's worth of work. I got all that done. So I worked on those flowers and I just need to keep up with my back stitching. I really do, or else I'm going to dread it toward the end. So why I have 2 needles, I have no idea. I just saw that. Oh, I know why. Because I used to have 1 thread with the backstitch color, but then they changed backstitch colors on me, so I undid it. So that's it right there. So that's what I got done. I'm hoping to bring this out again. I'm trying not to add too much to my whip pile, but I'll be doing that this week. But I'm trying not to add too much because I really want to get some progress on some of these pieces. I like seeing progress. I am a process stitcher, but I'm also a project stitcher. So it's like I like stitching on different things, but at the same time, I want to finish things. So it's kind of like, you know, my mom used to say she was a frustrated perfectionist. She liked having things organized, but she hated organizing. So anyway, I'm a lot like her. I work better when it's organized, but I don't want to organize anything. Anyway, my husband, his version of organizing is to chunk everything. I'm like, nope. Anyway, I'm veering off topic here. Okay, so the last thing I worked on, and this is really quite funny, is I worked on day 1 of Shannon Christine's 12 Days of Christmas. That's the one on the top. And yesterday I was freaking out because I didn't have it finished and I didn't have my Carolyn Manning grandma's jewelry box piece done. And I was just like, what am I going to do? I really wanted to finish these. I really wanted to have them done. I was upset. My husband came home and I said, I got to get this done. He's like, I said, I got to finish it before February. He goes, well, you have 1 more day. And I was like, what? He's like, today's the 30th. I was like, oh gosh. So I have 1 more day. I don't think I'll finish it, but my stress level went down. So anyway, so here's what I have done. This, I'm working on the bird. His little head's a little wackadoodle right now, but as soon as I finish stitching it, you'll be able to see that it's a bird facing that way. I love her colors. You know, I like Shannon Christine's designs, I really do, but sometimes I look at her colors and go, whew, but stitching with them is just so much fun. I love her colors. They're so pretty. They shade well together. I just love them. So hopefully I'll get this done by next week. I don't know. That's kind of my goal. I don't know how much I'll get done. I'm really hoping to have the 2 smalls done because my goal was to get them finished, but we'll see. We'll see. this was a crazy month, so I'm giving myself some grace if they're not done. But that is day 1. And that's my stitching. That is my stitching for the week. I'm going to talk about plans now. Like I said, I am doing the magazine monthly challenge, and I will be working on that during the month. I do like the little mini goals I can set for myself during that month. You know, just to say, hey, I want to make sure I focus on this. I can focus on this. And so, if you don't know, what I do is I have a list at the beginning of my planner that has all of my whips. If I start a new one, I add it to this. So that way, when Magazine Monthly Challenge pulls up their, and this is theirs, I printed small to fit my calendar. Then what I can do is I can just print it and put it in. So far I have done, I did work gathering honey 2 hours. Okay, it wasn't, I was like, that's a lot of stitching for 1 hour. I worked on it for 2 hours. I read that wrong. Okay, so I did it for 2 hours. So there you go. I did everything. I just need to color in that to show that I completed it. So I am doing this for February. So February, the theme is beach. The acrostic is a wave. And I will be pulling out for the beach. I will be pulling out City of Romance. I'm not working on that this week, but I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like because there's water. Maybe there's a beach. I know it's supposed to be Venice maybe, but still, I'll be working on that. For beach. And then for the wave part, W, I'm doing We Live in Hope by Blackbird Designs. I am doing a new start, and I'll show you that in a little bit. And it's by Artisy, so that's A. V, I'm doing Pandemic because it was a virus. I couldn't think of anything else. And E, I'm doing Princess Elliana. Okay, so my new start for Magazine Monthly Challenge and for February being Black History Month, I am going to be doing a new start, and that is by Artisy, and it is Mini Beauty and Strength. Isn't she pretty? It's a small one. It is a mini. It's 125 by 200. I kind of wish it had come out in a no background, but I'm going to go ahead and stitch the background since I do it on an easy grid, which I do have already bagged up and ready to go. Now, I don't know where to start this one. If I start in my standard lower right, I'll get a little bit. I really want to get to her. You know, I want to stitch her. I don't want to. So I'm thinking about starting down here so that I can move across and maybe do like Stitching Mommy does and do a typewriter where I move across and then work my way up. What do y'all think? How would y'all stitch her? I thought about starting in the middle. There's a thought. I could do that. But I don't know. I don't know. But she's so pretty. So pretty. So I'm going to be doing her. So that's my new start. And then I need to finish my January ornaments. And I need to work on my temperature tree because it hit me that next year is our 35th anniversary. And so I need to work on my temperature tree. I'm doing the temperature tree for the year we were married. Our wedding was on January 7th. So our anniversary is January 7th. So I figured I'll just start with January 1st and just go the whole year. You know, give or take 7 days type of thing. So that's what I'm going to do. I need to work on that. And my thought was, well, if I had done one branch a month, I would have been finished. So I'm going to try during the month of February to get 3 leaves done a day, which is 3 days. So I need to chart for the first couple of months and get all the temperatures so that I can bounce around with one color. Although this is Louisiana, and January could be anywhere from 70 to 20. So bouncing around with one color isn't necessarily gonna, it may not work. But anyway, so I need to do that. I do want to catch up because I do want to have it framed to give to my husband. He knows I'm doing it, so it's not like, you know, it's a surprise or anything, but I do want to get that done. So I need to chart out our temperatures for the first year we were married and get that done, and hopefully do 3 leaves a day starting in February. I might start today. And I do need to finish the trunk and the some of the branches, but that'll come. Okay. Just so you know, woke up this morning to a notice that Heaven and Earth Designs is having a 50% off sale. I haven't looked at anything yet. I have some things on my wish list, but nothing is really calling to me right now. So I don't know if I'm going to take advantage of that sale. But if you want to, head on over there. Heaven and Earth Designs, 50% off. Okay, so that is my stitching. That is my plans. That is all I have. I do have a little tiny bit of personal stuff. So if you're not here for that, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate you coming. If you're here for my personal stuff, like I said, not a whole lot going on. We went to my nephew's wedding Saturday. This is on my husband's side of the family. It's his oldest brother's oldest child. He got married. We love his wife. But my husband and I were just leaving the house, and maybe 10 minutes from home, and our oldest son FaceTimes me. He's at work, so I'm like, usually if there's a car he sees that he wants me to see, he'll send me pictures, but he FaceTimed me. I was like, oh, this is not good. This is not good. He's like, I think I broke my thumb. I was like, oh no, what happened? So he was sitting in like on a step stool type of thing, and it collapsed, and his thumb was like under him, under, you know. And he said, Mom, my thumb bent in a direction that it should not have bent, and it bent back far. So he showed me a picture, and it wasn't bruised, but there was definitely a line where he says, Mom, it hurts. It's throbbing. It hurts. So he went into the office, and they said, and I told him, I said, there's an orthopedic urgent care. I said, but they close in 45 minutes. So he's like, okay. So he went and he says, okay, they let me go. He says, I'm going to go and head there now. And so he walked in, and they like locked the doors behind him. So he got to go. He's got a torn UCL in his thumb. He's in a brace. He can't work for 2 weeks. So, but he got seen. And so the wedding was an unplugged wedding. Please turn your phones off. And I'm like, I have a kid in the emergency room. Now, granted, he's going to be 25 this year. But still, he's on our insurance. And so, you know, he's got his insurance card and everything. So, but, you know, of course, I wanted to know what was going on. And so I kind of kept my phone on and just down so that I could see if he texted me. And I turned the volume off, so that was good. And so we, you know, he called me later on. He says they wrapped it up. They told me to get a brace. And so I stopped and I got him a brace on the way home and pumped him up with some Advil and all that stuff. And so he, yeah. This is a kid for his whole life up until he was a freshman in high school, had no broken bones. None. And he broke his thumb playing football, which he hated football. So his main concern was, can I play basketball again? Broke his thumb playing football. Never played football again. Couldn't risk, you know, that. So the thumb that he hurt was the thumb that he actually had broken once before. So we were kind of a little concerned about that. And then he had his nose broken. And then he got in his Rex, and, you know, but I always said, hey, we made it. We made it until he was 15 before having to go to the emergency room. I think we did pretty good. So anyways, so he's fine, you know, he's doing good. But that was, I'm like, oh, we're in the middle, you know, and I told him, I said, we're going to the wedding. And so anyway, but yeah. Exciting stuff. But that was really, seriously, if that's the most exciting thing that happens in my life, I'm good. So anyway, so that's all I have. I don't have anything else for you guys. I'm plugging up on 30 minutes here. I don't want to keep y'all much longer. I want y'all to go on to the next FlossTuber, get some stitching done. And if you want to share with me what you're doing, you can email me, rachelqstitches@gmail.com. I do have it down below. I also opened up a buy me a coffee to help with any giveaways that I'm going to be doing. I'd like to do some more giveaways. So I do have that. No pressure, no obligation, but if you want to do that, that would help me out tremendously so that I can do some giveaways. And anyway, so that is what I have. That is all I have for you guys. Thank y'all so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. But like I said, if you want to show me your work, send me an email. And if you don't mind me showing it, I'd love to show everybody your work and share any kind of Instagram accounts you may have, get some followers and whatnot. But anyway, that's it. I will see you guys next week, Lord willing. Happy stitching. Bye-bye.